Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of BTTH Rebirth of Emperor Yang episode number 312 based on novel. So let's start. The ancestral hall of the Xiao clan is located behind the Xiao clan hall. It is closed all year round. On weekdays, except for some high-level people in the clan, the only chance for others to come here is clan sacrifice. Today is the opening day of the clan sacrifice. Only through this opportunity can these people have a chance to see the inside of the ancestral temple. Outside the ancestral temple, there is a courtyard with a wide area. The four sides are regular and there are many strange stones. The ground is made of hard black rock and depicts mysterious runes. Looking from a high place, you can find that these runes outline each other and form a huge array. Even the seemingly ordinary exhibits in the courtyard are part of this array, and the ancestral temple, it is located in the most central position of the whole array. It is not difficult to imagine that if someone tries to intrude, the operation of the large array will be triggered no matter from which direction. At this time, in the front yard of the ancestral temple, many figures are standing here. Most of them are in the clan meeting, and they are also the leaders of the younger generation of the Xiao nationality. Xiao Feng and others are prominent. Even Xiao Xiaojun, the head of the young clan, also stand in the field. As for a few middle-aged people, they are deacons everywhere in the clan, relying on their meritorious deeds to the family. That's why I entered here as an exception and participated in the family sacrifice together. In front of the ancestral hall, led by Xiao Yuheng, there are three people standing side by side. On the right is Xiao Dingtian with a gloomy face, and on the left is a plump woman. At this time, the three were silent and looked at the people present. When the woman took back her severe eyes, she looked at the sky above her head. Then Liu Mai couldn't help frowning slightly. According to the rules, it was time to open the ancestral temple, but Xiao Yuheng was indifferent and seemed to be deliberately waiting for someone. At this time, footsteps came from outside the door. Suddenly, several figures strode forward and quickly appeared in the sight of everyone present. It was Xiao Yang and others. Hey, this guy is really high profile. Looking at the several figures stepping down side by side, Xiao Xiaojun, who was wearing arms and chest, couldn't help laughing, and the red skirt woman on her side smiled with interest. At the same time, Xiao Yuheng's eyes also fell on Xiao Yang, the leader of the group. What can I do if I come here? I will never allow anyone to pollute our blood. Looking at Xiao Yang walking straight through the crowd step by step, Xiao Dingtian was quite gnashing his teeth in a low voice. Is he Xiao Yang? Beside Xiao Yuheng, the woman stared coldly at the black-robed man who was coming, and said in a neutral tone. Yes, although it seems a little ordinary, few people can match it with his strength among his peers. The former is also staring at Xiao Yang coming step by step. Some bright colors appear in his calm eyes, and there is a sense of appreciation between his words. Hearing the speech, the woman couldn't help raising her eyebrows and looking at Xiao Yuheng, and then joked. Yes, it's really ordinary. It's just that I lost the world's sun with a different fire. Xiao Yuheng was a little stunned, and then smiled a little embarrassed. The woman just tilted her mouth and continued. Deliberately didn't tell me this. Just want me to have a good impression of his strength without knowing it, so that he can be more smooth in the family sacrifice. Xiao Yuheng suddenly smiled at the thought of being revealed by a word. The latter coldly withdrew his eyes and looked at Xiao Yang and others again. He said expressionless. My duty is to maintain the normal holding of the clan sacrifice and the judgment of blood level. The rest are subject to the clan rules. I will not intervene. If the clan leader wants me to release water, please invite someone else. Why did the 6 elders say this? In my opinion, although Xiao Yang has some talents, there is still a big gap compared with Xiaojun. That's why he said so. Xiao Yuheng smiled dryly, and the woman didn't bother to say more when she heard the speech. Instead, Xiao Dingtian on the right hand looked as if nothing had happened. She gently raised her eyebrows, but the corners of her mouth were filled with a smile. At the moment, Xiao Yang looked at many familiar figures in front of him. After nodding and greeting several people in front of him, his eyes just fell on Xiao Xiaojun, and he suddenly noticed that a strange soul force was approaching rapidly. Then he subconsciously frowned and moved his mind. The invisible soul force in the center of his eyebrows swept out, turned into a big hand and waved it back, with the rushing soul power. Buzz! In the relaxed courtyard, a low collision sound suddenly sounded. Without waiting for everyone to come back, an invisible soul storm immediately swept through and spread in all directions. Many people present immediately felt dizzy. Even Xiao Yang and his 3 people frowned slightly at this time. In the middle of the courtyard, Xiao Yang's eyes narrowed and stared at a beautiful woman ahead. The soul power just came from this woman. It's really a 7th-order soul. The woman moved gently, stepped forward, and said. Glancing at Xiao Shaojun beside the woman, he smiled at the latter, and Xiao Yang immediately opened his mouth to Xiao Siyu. You are no worse than the rumor, Xiao Siyu. Although it was only a short collision, Xiao Yang was also clearly aware of the strength of the other party's soul power. She is worthy of being the daughter of heaven of the Xiao family. Xiao Mingyuan's disciple's accurate control of the soul power is much more amazing than he imagined. Hey, the girl's soul talent is the most outstanding I've seen in recent years. Although you're not bad, I'm afraid you're inferior to the second girl. Xiao Mingyuan patted Xiao Yang on the shoulder proudly. At the same time, Xiao Siyu saluted the old man respectfully. Xiao Yang was a little curious. He once heard that the family called Xiao Siyu the second miss, but can you say that there is an eldest sister above her? The second young lady is still so. I'm afraid that the eldest young lady will be more terrible. Who allowed you to do it in the other garden of the ancestral temple? But at this time, a serious cold drink suddenly sounded on one side of the crowd. Xiao Yang suddenly regained his mind. Everyone present immediately focused their eyes on a woman who came out of the crowd, and beside him were Patriarch Xiao Yuheng and Xiao Dingtian. Seeing the woman, the relaxed atmosphere in the center of the field immediately tightened up. Everyone bowed to the woman. Even the proud Xiao Shaojun and the cold-looking Xiao Feng saluted respectfully. At this time, only Xiao Mingyuan and the 2 are not afraid of the woman. As for Xiao Yang, he saluted with a blank face. At the same time, Xiao Shen's voice came quietly to his ears. This is Xiao Yuhua, the 6 elders of the family. He is harsh. You should pay attention to your attitude. Hearing the speech, Xiao Yang couldn't help raising his eyebrows. He was surprised and said, 6 elders. Is it a woman? Younger Xiao Yang, I've seen the patriarch and 6 elders. Facing the 6 elders who suddenly appeared in front of him, Xiao Yang was surprised, but he didn't dare to neglect it at this time. He just ignored Xiao Dingtian intentionally in his words, which made the latter's old face look rather ugly. Xiao Yang, I heard the patriarch praise you just now. When I saw you at this time, I was more like the stubborn disciple in the rumor. You are the first person who dares to fight in the other garden of the ancestral temple in these years. Ignoring Xiao Yang's respectful courtesy, Xiao Yuhua said coldly with an expressionless face. Ancestral temple is the place where the family is dignified. If you don't punish me severely, I'm afraid it will spoil the atmosphere. Xiao Ding's righteous words said. As soon as these words came out, many people's eyes fell on the former and Xiao Yang. Just a few words shorter, they already made the atmosphere in the field tense. It seems that Xiao Dingtian today is determined to prevent Xiao Yang from participating in the family sacrifice. Xiao Yuheng's face was expressionless, but there was a trace of unhappiness in the bottom of his eyes. Clan leader, 2 elders, I was curious and took the initiative to test. Xiao Yang is just self-defense. If you want to punish, Siyu is willing to bear it. At this time, Xiao Siyu suddenly came forward to defend, and everyone's eyes shifted. Xiao Ding's soothing eyebrows immediately frowned. In my opinion, Xiao Siyu had no intention of exploring, but this boy hurt people regardless of his enemies and friends. It's obviously intentional. If these people... Xiao Dingtian, don't lose your sense of propriety. Xiao Dingtian's voice was about to fall, but there was an unhappy low voice in his ear. When his mood suddenly stopped, his words were stopped and paused for a few seconds. When the people around him looked back in suspicious eyes, behind them, there was a sharp buzzing sound from the closed ancestral temple in the courtyard. When dozens of eyes gathered together, they saw that the gate of the ancestral temple was slowly opening, and everyone's mood suddenly shifted at this moment. The ancestral temple is open. Footsteps sounded one after another, and high-pitched words filled with fire rose into the sky. In the twinkling of an eye, only Xiao Yang and his party and Xiao Shaojun were left in place. At this time, Xiao Yuhua also lazily took back her eyes, glanced at Xiao Dingtian unnecessarily, and then looked at Xiao Yuheng. Her eyes turned slightly, but she didn't say anything more. She turned and walked towards the ancestral temple. Ha ha, it's open. Let's go. It's still the family sacrifice. Xiao Mingyuan smiled and hurriedly urged Xiao Yang and others. Xiao Yuheng's words just now sounded plain, but his angry intention could not be violated. Rao was really surprised with his temperament. On weekdays, some people in the clan laugh at the patriarch's virtue and inaction. There are few independent opinions on major events in the clan. Some people even think that the position of patriarch is in vain. According to the short sentence just now and the reaction of Xiao Dingtian, it is obviously very different from what everyone sees, so we have to look at it. Hey, the patriarch just wants to let the power disputes in the clan go. Don't think he really doesn't care about anything. Once the patriarch gets serious, I'm afraid the elder will obey his orders. Seeing the whispers of Xiao Lei, Xiao Mingyuan glanced at Xiao Yuheng behind his eyes and joked. Since he can sit firmly as a patriarch, there is no doubt about his ability. Don't underestimate him. With that, the old man patted Xiao Yang on the shoulder and looked forward. When the Xianmen door was completely open, the surging people just came to the door, but a loud roar like a lion roared suddenly swept out of the ancestral temple. In a moment, the group of people flew away. The sudden scene in front of him made Xiao Yang gently pick his eyebrows. There was someone else in the ancestral temple. Look at this roar. This person's strength is also strong terror. Everyone, return 10 feet away. With a figure stepping out, the cry full of cold followed. When the people present saw the figure, they all retreated quickly with fear on their faces. The crowd retreated and a large body with grey hair was exposed to everyone's eyes. When Xiao Yang first saw the man, his breath could not help but stagnate for a moment, and even his body could not help but freeze slightly. In the moment of recollection, Xiao Yang's pupils suddenly contracted, and immediately gasped violently for a while. Then he looked up and found that the man was staring at himself at this time. Don't look into his eyes. Xiao Mingyuan whispered and pulled back the distracted Xiao Yang. This is the 4 elders of the family, Xiao Ming. He has been chasing the road of rock all his life. Even a pair of eyes have been strangely trained by him. Look at him. Be careful not to be petrified by his strange ability. As soon as he said this, Xiao Yang suddenly realized that no wonder the moment just now would make him feel such a heavy pressure. The reason was this. Just think about it now, the 4 elders are really amazing. One look is such a strange ability. Imagine how terrible their real strength should be. You can know the whole leopard by peeping at a spot. Since I joined the family, I have always been curious and suspicious of the top 10 elders, but only when I saw these 2 today can I really see the details of the Xiao family. Xiao Yang laughed at himself. Judging from the 2 elders seen in the courtyard, their strength must be above Yuanzuan. Now it seems that the strength of the top 10 elders of Xiao nationality will not be inferior except this one. What's this? I'm ranked 3rd among the elders, but I didn't say that the top 10 elders are arranged according to their strength. If I didn't study medicine refining wholeheartedly, I wouldn't be worse than the top elders. Hearing some meanings in Xiao Yang's words, Xiao Mingyuan turned his mouth unconvinced and said proudly. The former only smiled when he heard the speech, but Xiao Shaojun came over and whispered in his ear. It's true that the 3 elders have strong talent and blood, but few people in the family can match them. They are just lazy and easy to swim, so they can only achieve these achievements. In addition to his inner surprise, Xiao Ming in front made a cold drink again. Everyone can enter the ancestral temple only after being tested by bloodstone. Those who violate it will be beheaded. This is concise and comprehensive, but it doesn't sound like a joke in his ears. Xiao Yang doesn't even doubt it. If someone disobeys, Xiao Ming will never hesitate. This guy is really ruthless. Smacked his mouth, Xiao Yang sighed. Xiao Ming's foresight was strange. He said, It's said in the central region that there are two people in the Xiao family who can't be provoked. One is the heartless whip Xiao Yuhua, the other is the cold-faced Shura Xiao Ming. It's not for others. Just because these two people start to fight, even the family members are not soft-hearted. When the clan leader was young, he suffered a lot in their hands. In the end, Xiao Mingyuan turned his eyes to Xiao Yuheng, which also made Xiao Yang and others show a curious look one after another. Even Xiao Shaojun came together with a little interest. But before Xiao Mingyuan could say anything more, Xiao Dingtian and Xiao Yuhua stood on the platform, and everyone's attention turned with a bloody crystal in Xiao Dingtian's hand. Is that the bloodstone? Looking at the red crystal stone slowly circling over Xiao Dingtian's palm, Xiao Yang asked curiously. Don't underestimate this thing. It is said that this bloodstone was produced in the place of slaughter to absorb the blood of countless creatures. Therefore, it has a strong appeal to the power of blood. Therefore, the family will use it to test the blood quality of the people. Xiao Lei nodded slightly and explained with a smile. Hearing the speech, Xiao Yang turned his eyes again with great interest. At the same time, Xiao Dingtian, holding a bloodstone, also followed the order. There are 50 people participating in the family sacrifice this time. Except for the ministers and old deacons, there are 40 people left. Each of you comes forward to apply for a bloodstone. After the bloodstone test, you are eligible to enter the ancestral temple. Xiao Dingtian stood majestically on the high platform. The majestic cheers immediately spread, and all the people present changed accordingly. They were divided into two groups and waited quietly. Xiao Ming and Xiao Yuhua were shocked in front. These people seemed very quiet at the moment. Off the court, Xiao Yang looked at the rapidly separated crowd in front of him. He couldn't help but be a little surprised. He also saw many leaders of the young generation of Xiao nationality when he participated in the clan meeting that day. He thought that was all, but at this time, he obviously underestimated the inside information of Xiao nationality. Now it seems that what Xiao Dingtian said at this time may not be all of the top of the young generation of Xiao nationality. The strength of the Xiao family, which can stand among the top forces in the mainland, is far beyond his imagination. As soon as he thought about this, Xiao Yangdang could not help laughing at himself and thought carefully. So far, the Xiao family he saw is still the tip of the iceberg. As far as Xiao Mingyuan is concerned, he has only seen half of the top 10 elders, and it is difficult to judge the strength of the rest. Such a large Xiao family must have a terrorist existence that ordinary people don't know. Those people are the real core of the Xiao family, and these people standing in front of him at this time are just the dominators within the Xiao family. First, Xiao Shaojun. When Xiao Yang was absent-minded, Xiao Dingtian's sharp and hoarse cry suddenly sounded. At this time, it was like a bell in the quiet courtyard, and Xiao Shaojun, as the head of the minority clan, naturally ranked first. In the eyes of the public, Xiao Shaojun stepped forward slowly and took the bloodstone from Xiao Dingtian, but he was not in a hurry to test, but stepped aside. At that time, everyone present will start the test together. Second. Xiao Shaojun retreated and stood aside. Xiao Dingtian was about to speak, but a sharp and playful cry suddenly sounded. The sound broke the quiet atmosphere on the field. Even Xiao Yang couldn't help but pick his eyebrows in amazement. Looking at the situation, he really saw a familiar figure shooting out from the crowd and quickly came to Xiao Dingtian. It's Xiao Linga. Looking at the playful girl with a smiling face, the eyebrows that Xiao Yuhua and Xiao Ming just frowned on the stage then stretched out. Looking at the whole family, I'm afraid the ghost spirit in front of them can make them helpless. This girl, with the favor of the elder, runs around the family without hindrance, but she is favored by these two people. Even her brother doesn't have this honor. Xiao Lei made fun of her and threw an envious look at the girl. Xiao Yang smiled. Xiao Linga's strength is not strong, but the inside information is not bad. The most important thing is that she has achieved so much at her age. In addition, her ancestors were good at inducement. Her future achievements are unlimited. While they were talking, they saw that Xiao Siyu, who had started earlier, came forward and took the bloodstone. His steps retreated. The crystal stone in his palm suddenly emitted a burst of red light, and then changed into purple. Until the white light flickered, there was a sound of sucking cold air on the field. In the end, the ever-changing light still stops at white, but it is more thick and white than before. Staring at the bloodstone in his hand that was only one step away, Xiao Xiu frowned, threw away the crystal stone, looked at the blood mark in his palm, shook his hand coldly and retreated to one side. Xiao Shaojun quickly came forward to tease and comfort. This indicates her blood level? Seeing the scene ahead, Xiao Yang couldn't help asking with curiosity. The blood of thick white level is only one step behind that of red gold. It can be regarded as extremely outstanding. Xiao Lei tutted his tongue and exclaimed. Among the Xiao people, the blood level measured by bloodstone is divided into 5 kinds from low to high: red, purple, white, red gold and shining gold. As long as a drop of their own blood essence is integrated into the bloodstone, it will radiate light. The deeper the color, the stronger the blood force, which is of great benefit to cultivation and future development and status in the family. Xiao Zhuobin didn't think so, but calmly told the information he knew. This means that the leaders with high blood in the family and their descendants are also destined to become the executors of the family. This is the only and biggest disadvantage of the family. Suddenly, Xiao Feng didn't know when to appear beside Xiao Yang. At this time, his often calm face showed an expression of disgust. Hearing the speech, Xiao Yang was silent for a moment, and he couldn't help but recall all kinds of things. At the beginning, he was rudely criticized by other people because of the power of blood. He was so angry with the mainland, and so was Yuanwu mainland. With this in mind, Xiao Yanli raised his eyes and looked around. He really didn't see the figure of Xiao Yang. He also heard a lot about the blood anger, but he didn't expect that Xiao Yang would lose his qualification to participate in the family sacrifice. A burst of powerless regret in his heart, Xiao Yang had to shake his head and sigh secretly. He didn't hate the indisputable blood, but the injustice of the world. I don't hate this blood dispute. I only hate the injustice of the world. Suddenly, Xiao Feng uttered a sentence just like the former, which made Xiao Yang look sideways. Xiao Lei was silent and followed closely. There was a sharp and mean cry from Xiao Dingtian in front. Next, Xiao Yang. As soon as the words fell, everyone suddenly fell in love with Xiao Yang. They looked different. I don't know what kind of wonderful play will be performed by the enemies in front of them today. Who? With a light breath, Xiao Yang slowly raised his eyes and looked at Xiao Dingtian. When he saw the sneer on the old face of the latter, a sharp look flashed in his eyes. At this moment, Xiao Lei beside him slapped him on the shoulder and said with a broad smile, "Don't worry. Although my old man is mean, we are the leader in today's family sacrifice. He won't challenge you." When the latter heard the speech, he was relieved and smiled. His eyes looked at Xiao Xian on one side. When he saw the latter, he smiled and nodded, and walked forward to Xiao Dingtian without hesitation. When they came near, the 4 people on the steps gathered their eyes on Xiao Yang. Xiao Yuhua and Xiao Ming narrowed their eyes. Their fierce eyes seemed to see through the life in front of them. They were also quite curious about the alien who had caused a lot of trouble in the family for nearly half a year. Xiao Yang, if you don't want to lose face at today's family sacrifice meeting, it's still time to leave at this time. As he stepped forward, the voice of Xiao Dingtian's words quietly came into Xiao Yang's ears, which made the latter frown slightly, look at each other suspiciously, then turn his lips and sneer, slowly open his mouth in the sudden eyes of the people, and say, "Sorry, I prefer challenging trouble to giving up." Took the bloodstone from Xiao Dingtian's tight hand, Xiao Yang smiled, then turned back to the crowd on one side, left the former's slightly cloudy old face, and then read out the next name with hatred. "What did the crazy old man tell you just now?" As soon as he stood still, Xiao Yang's side, an exquisite head immediately leaned over and looked down. It was Xiao Linga. Hearing the strange name of the latter, Xiao Yang couldn't help laughing for a moment. Looking at the Xiao family, I'm afraid only this girl can openly say such words. Even he had to take into account Xiao Dingtian's identity. It's nothing. It's just that we haven't seen each other for some days. We just sympathize with each other. With a smile, Xiao Yang said meaninglessly. When the little girl heard the speech, she also turned her mouth, and then continued to turn her eyes to the front. When she saw Xiao Chuhang, a look of disgust suddenly appeared in her beautiful eyes. At the same time, Xiao Yang turned her attention to the blood crystal in her hand. Starting with the bloodstone just now, he clearly noticed that a strange energy surged in it, which seemed to burst out at any time. What attracted Xiao Yang's attention most was that the strength of this energy was no less than the high-level spirit stone, and even in Xiao Yang's perception, I'm afraid it was still too much. If you put this energy into your own use, the benefits will actually double. Don't look at this bloodstone. Even some powerful clan elders in the clan don't dare to fight it. Although you have different fire, if you want to try, you should wait until your strength is strong enough in the future, otherwise you will be careful to harm yourself. Just when Xiao Yang was distracted and bloody, the voice of Xiao Shaojuan's awakened words suddenly came into his ears. Xiao Yang suddenly came back to his mind, and then looked at the latter with a surprised face. Xiao Shaojun obviously understood what Xiao Yang thought and immediately took a shortcut. The bloodstone does contain extremely terrible energy. The strength of this power has gone far beyond the scope of ordinary spirit stones. It is even rumored that the blood crystal, which is the best among the bloodstones, can create a peak strongman of source saint level with one of them. Hiss. As soon as the voice fell, Xiao Yang's body trembled, and his inner shock was as unparalleled as the downpour of mountain torrents. Xiao Shaojuan's words at this time were the only thing he had seen in his life. What a huge force is it that can create a top-level strong looking at the mainland. Although the rumor can't be trusted, it is enough to show that the energy contained in the bloodstone is huge. Unfortunately, this powerful force has become particularly violent because it has absorbed the blood of countless creatures. Ordinary means can't completely eliminate the impurities. If you want to forcibly control this energy, the final result is to be affected by it to madness. This kind of thing is in the Middle Kingdom. It is rare among the major forces, even our ancestors of the Xiao nationality. At last, Xiao Shaojun shook his head in silence. Xiao Yang finally realized the horror of the bloodstone. At present, the curiosity that had just risen in his heart was quickly suppressed. Although he was carrying a strange fire, as Xiao Shaojun said earlier, it's better not to move your mind before you don't have enough strength. Almost at the same time, Xiao Xian, who was also holding a bloodstone, was feeling the warm current from the palm. The vigorous force seemed to beat like vitality. He poured into the body through the palm and surged rapidly along the meridians. The full source gas in the cyclone was also rising slightly at the moment. Soon, the bloodstone was distributed. Everyone except Xiao Xiu lined up in front under the order of the patriarch, offered a drop of blood essence, and then attached to the palm bloodstone. The test officially began. Buzz. When the blood essence touched the bloodstone, the bright red light like blood burst out from the bloodstone one after another. The light was dazzling and quickly covered the whole courtyard. From a distance, it was like a blood mist shrouded in the courtyard. At this time, Xiao Yuheng and others looked forward to Xiao Shaojun and others. Only Xiao Dingtian, when his eyes swept over Xiao Yang, was proud to pick his eyebrows. His eyes were waiting for something. With the red light shining, the faces of several senior family leaders on the field gradually become solemn. Blood test is not only related to the prospects of these young people, but also related to the fate of the whole Xiao family. Buzzing, buzzing. After a few breaths, the light shining on the field finally changed. Among the large red lights, strands of purple light shone out, and the most striking among these lights was a milky white star, which turned directly into a bright light with gold in red. Red gold blood. Xiao Yuhua and Xiao Ming almost screamed at the same time, and Xiao Yuheng, as the patriarch, looked particularly surprised at the moment. It's Linga. The elder has attached great importance to this girl since she was born. She really lives up to her expectations. Ha ha. Xiao Yuheng kept rubbing his hands, and the eager look on his face became more and more intense. His eyes focused on the bloodstone and red gold blood in front of Xiao Linga. If he could further improve, he would become the most noble shining gold blood force of the Xiao family. Coupled with the family sacrifice, the rise of the Xiao family in the future and its brilliance would be just around the corner. Yarojin blood, among the Xiao family, is called the stepping stone to Yuansheng Pass. At the same time, It is also the terrorist blood closest to the legendary UND level. If Xiao Linga can inherit this blood, coupled with the awakening of family sacrifice, his achievements in the future will be unlimited. However, after several times of waiting, the red gold light still stayed at that moment. Clan sacrifice can enhance the power of blood again for the awakened blood to a certain extent, but the higher the blood, the more difficult it will be. Since Xiao Linga's power of blood can't break through that layer in the end, it's not difficult to imagine the result. Bang! While Xiao Yuheng was full of entanglement, in the huge field with interlaced light, there was a dull sound like thunder from somewhere in the crowd, accompanied by a scarlet energy. The stunned eyes of the people present were all condensed in the rising place of the thick fog. At this time, Xiao Dingtian was picking his eyebrows and laughing, with a joking face. Such an abrupt scene made the original solemn atmosphere on the court a bit more playful. Under the eyes of the people, the thick fog dispersed and revealed a rather embarrassed figure. It was Xiao Yang. The bloodstone in the palm left only a little debris, and the blood energy scattered. Most of the black robes were broken and messy, as if they had just experienced a bloody battle. Fried. At this moment, the atmosphere suddenly solidified, full of embarrassment. The bloodstone is broken, and Xiao Yang loses the qualification of family sacrifice. When the atmosphere in the field solidified, Xiao Dingtian's loud cheers suddenly sounded, which also attracted the dejected people to react quickly, followed closely, and his regretful eyes fell on Xiao Yang. Bloodstone fragmentation does occur from time to time in the past bloodstone test. According to past experience, such people are usually people with weak blood force in their body. Because the unusual blood force is rejected by the latter in the process of blending with bloodstone, the violent energy in them cannot be recovered for a time, resulting in bloodstone fragmentation. However, it is indeed a wonder that the bloodstone should burst into countless pieces like today. In other words, what kind of inferior blood can make bloodstones explode out of thin air? When everyone was surprised and suspicious, Xiao Yuheng and others' eyes fell on Xiao Dingtian, with a look of shame in their eyes. Perhaps some people here will believe what is happening right now, but as a senior member of the family, they have presided over many family sacrifices. Of course, they can see the truth at a glance. In the final analysis, this is just a trick by Xiao Dingtian. It must be Xiao Dingtian's secret manipulation of blood and stone, so that Xiao Yang failed in the test in full view of the public. The former can take advantage of it and openly erase Xiao Yang's qualification of family sacrifice. As for Xiao Yuheng and others, there is no evidence, of course, it can't overturn the immediate results. If it is forced to argue for him, the two people around him are present, plus the people, etc., I'm afraid it's true. This move is really a kill. Forgive your posture, but you can't resist the prejudice of this family against you. Xiao Feng's eyes narrowed, and he sighed with regret. At this moment, even Xiao Chuhang, who has always been hostile to Xiao Yang, frowned. He didn't believe that the guy who lost his brother would be blocked here. However, it is inevitable to ride a tiger. It can't be changed in the end. Xiao Yang lost this game. Since you have lost your qualification, you can leave on your own. If you affect others, you can't afford the blame. Xiao Dingtian looked proud and indulged a smile. He opened his mouth to drive Xiao Yang away from the ancestral temple. Hearing the speech, Xiao Yang just stayed where he was, and his eyes kept turning. He didn't expect that this guy would have such a skill. At present, he racked his brains and felt helpless. Damn it! You shameless old thing, an old bone, can't live with a young student. If I were younger, I would make you look good. Outside the crowd, Xiao Mingyuan, whose old face was gloomy, finally couldn't bear it. Due to Xiao Yuheng's presence, he was patient all the time, but at this time, he saw Xiao Dingtian again. His anger finally broke out. He stepped forward a few steps and wanted to reduce his anger to the latter, but then he was stopped by Xiao Yuhua, who caught up with him. Third, the rules are the rules. Anyway, Xiao Yang has lost his qualification to stay here. If you start in the ancestral temple, you should be careful of the family rules. Xiao Yuhua raised her willow eyebrows and shouted. Don't do this. If I'm afraid, I won't show up here. Go away. Xiao Mingyuan raised his eyebrows coldly and waved his sleeve robe fiercely, which was going to beat Xiao Yuhua back. 3 elders. At this time, Xiao Yang suddenly shouted, and the action on the former's hand was also sluggish. Turning back, Xiao Yang shook his head helplessly and said with a bitter smile, "No, I'll just go." Then, ignoring Xiao Mingyuan's suddenly changed face, he turned to Xiao Dingtian and shouted with disdain, "If you win, I'll leave." As soon as he said this, Rao was with Xiao Dingtian's temperament. At this time, he couldn't help being a little stunned. At the same time, an inexplicable sense of loss rose in his heart. The wild boy who didn't know where he came from lost to him in the end, but Xiao Dingtian didn't have any joy of victory at this time, and his long resentment dissipated inexplicably at this moment. At the moment Xiao Yang turned around, Xiao Feng in the crowd threw down the bloodstone in his hand and turned to look forward. One after another, Xiao Lei and Xiao Zhuobin released the bloodstone in their hands and let it flicker. Most of the people present who were related to Xiao Yang looked at the latter at this time. Xiao Yuhua and Xiao Ming scanned the audience. Looking at Xiao Dingtian at this time, he looks more like a lonely family. Buzz. However, at this time, when everyone's eyes shifted, somewhere in the crowd, a bright and dazzling golden light suddenly burst out. In the twinkling of an eye, it condensed into a golden light column, which went straight to 9 days and covered the whole audience in an instant. This sudden change made the faces of all the people present suddenly change. Xiao Yuheng and others looked at the shining place almost instantly. The palm under the sleeve robe held it tightly involuntarily, and their eyes stared at the dazzling light. Deep inside, there was a few excitement. The scene in front of me is what the whole Xiao family is looking forward to. This is Yao Jin's blood. All the people present looked at the dazzling brilliance in front of them. Despite the sore eyes, it was still difficult to restrain the enthusiasm and excitement in their hearts. At this moment, almost all the people present took a deep breath. Even Xiao Ming, who was as heavy as iron, looked at the scene in front of him. Yao Jin's blood indicates that there is an outstanding person qualified to attack the legendary throne among the Xiao family. The rise of the Xiao nationality is expected. Xiao Yuheng couldn't help laughing. Although he was only a first-line qualification, this alone was the expectation of the family for many years and the desire of many strong people. Now, as long as they can cultivate the Xiao family with the strength of the whole family, the Xiao family will stand on the top of the mainland in the future. Come on. See who it is. From today on, he will be taught by the 10 elders in person. No one can. Before Xiao Yuheng's voice fell, the golden light gradually converged, but then the face exposed in front of everyone suddenly solidified the look on everyone's face. The words that had already reached the mouth were also cut off at this moment. Xiao Xian. Xiao Dingtian's heart suddenly stagnated, and then an unbelievable emotion surged up. An old face alternating blue and white, his throat rolling, followed by a mouthful of blood, his body convulsed several times involuntarily, and he fell to the ground on his back. In the field, Xiao Xian held the bloodstone and converged the last ray of golden light on it. His eyes calmly swept through the crowd. Finally, he smiled at Xiao Yang. This video will end here.